Okay, I'm going to show you how to use Google Forms to create quizzes that also provide feedback to the learner. And so log into Google Drive, select New, and then you're going to select Forms. Now, as usual, just go ahead and create the form. So we would call this test quiz. And we'll go ahead and before we go into our questions, we'll go ahead and go to settings, and then you want to select the collect emails and select respond and select always. This will allow the respondent to get an email when they hit submit. And then you want to go to quizzes. You want to make this a quiz. Here we have selected this, and then you get all these other options. And then leave it as is. Immediately after each submission, the quiz taker will get feedback, and then respondents can see their missed questions, correct answers, and point values. And I'll show you how to do those. Hit save, and so up at the top, the user is being asked for their emails, and that's the email that the system is going to use to send them a confirmation that they have taken their quiz. Now you can also add demographics here. So instead of making this a quiz question, you can add some demographics. So you might want to ask the individual for their name, and there are 0 points to this. We're going to make this a required item. We want to know what their name is, and any other demographics, if you want to know what their degree is or anything else that you want to know. So we're going to make this a 0 point thing because this is not part of the quiz. And let's just go ahead and assume this is one of the questions we're going to ask. So we will come with just a test question. How many elephants were in the room? And then here, Google thinks we're asking about short answer. You're going to change that to multiple choice, and we will just put some options here: 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so these would be the choices that the user might be given based on the question that you ask them. And then you want to go ahead and make this required, and then you want to go to answer key, and here you're going to select how many points. So typically just put 1 point there, but if let's say this is going to be on 100 point thing and you've got 25 questions, you can make it a 4 point question, for example. So whatever it is that you want it to be. So we would just select one, and then from here, let's just say there were 3 elephants in the room, so that's going to be the correct answer, so we pick that. And then we want to also give the user feedback, and so I would suggest that you just put the same thing both in incorrect and correct, so that option 1 was incorrect because whatever might be the reason. Option 2 was incorrect. So I think the better feedback you give people, the better is going to be their learning experience. Is the correct answer because, and then option 4 is incorrect because, so on and so forth. Here you can even add links or add videos and so on, and then just copy this and put the same thing in here. So no matter whether they get this correctly or incorrectly, they're going to get really good feedback on this. All right, so they're going to get complete feedback regardless. And we'll hit save. So now that, that gives you that option. We're going to hit done. And then let's just add one more question. So we'll just duplicate this. And this is a quiz on observing the number of elephants and zebras. And so then here you see this is selected as the correct answer, but actually there were only 2 zebras. So we're going to click on our answer key and we're going to change it to 2. You can even have multiple questions, multiple answers that are correct. See, so you can add 3 as well. But here we want to let them know that there are only 2 zebras in the room. And then you can go ahead and edit this, and was correct because, and then whatever that might response might be. So this is probably worthwhile spending some time in, because that's definitely gonna increase the value of doing this, going through this whole motion. And let's go ahead and update these as well. So I'm just gonna select all, Control A, and then Control V, and we'll save this. And then this is done. So this quiz is now ready for prime time. You can, as you know, you can add pictures and stuff like that. You can add images. If you have, let's say, a question that requires some sort of image, maybe an X-ray or an MRI, or it's some sort of anatomical thing, you can add images to it. There are ways to import questions, but that, this is, we're talking about the basics. So now there are a total of 2 points that one can achieve on this quiz. And so what we're going to do is preview this and do a test drive. So let's go ahead and hit preview. This is what the quiz looks like. So I'm going to put my email address here, and it already somehow knows my name. So how many elephants were in the room? And I'm gonna get this one incorrect. And then I'll pick 2, and I'll show you what that looks like. And so a copy of your responses will be emailed to the address that you provided. So that's kind of nice. And then we're gonna hit submit. And now they have submitted. Now they can view their score. As you see, I got this one wrong. The correct answer was 3, and then here's the feedback. So this is where we had put in all of that explanation. This is why I recommend putting full explanation both for incorrect and correct answers, so that the learners can know why they got something right or wrong in case they just guessed it. In this case, it gave me what I had put into the correct answer. So that is how this works, and I will check to see if the system sent me an email. So I'll show you that. So here's the Google Forms, and this is what that looks like. So it just gives me, it doesn't give me the explanation, but I can click on view scores again, and I can go back and I can look at the whole thing. So that is how you do this, and it's a great way of evaluating learners on a topic, either for assessment or more of an evaluation.